I just got back from watching The Joker 2, and I am stuck between what the hell did I just watch and oh my God, did they just blow my mind and I can't handle this. Let's talk about this. Hi everyone, I'm Star from the Horror Cat Super Show. Today I'm going to be talking about Joker 2. And I just got back from watching it, and I think the way I want to do this is I'm going to give you just a really quick yes or no, you should go watch this film, and then we're going to get straight into spoilers because this is one I really feel like I need to start breaking down. There's a lot to unpack here. So this Joker is 2 hours and 18 minutes. So this is a kind of take on the meeting of Joker and Harley. In the original comics, Harley is a psychiatrist, and she treats the Joker and then falls in love with him and becomes his sidekick in crime. In this one, she's actually just an inmate at the Arkham Asylum as well and meets him and they fall in love. There are parts of this movie that the aspect ratio has been changed, so you're going to get a smaller 4:3. Then it goes back out to normal. Cinematography is still great. Not as great as the first one, but still great. There's a lot more music in here because there's musical numbers, so you're going to get a lot of that. So am I going to recommend this or not? If you are a hardcore Joker lover like myself, it's something that I think you should see. It's going to be kind of interesting how you're going to be feeling about this. But if you're a person who just casually watched Joker the first time and you're like, oh, I maybe want to check this out, I would save this one until it comes to streaming because you might not like it, you might not enjoy it. So the second part, we follow the Joker after the events of the first movie. He's waiting in Arkham to see if he's competent enough to stand trial for his crimes in the first film. His lawyer plans to plead that he has multiple personality disorder and that the Joker is a multiple personality and he is responsible for the crimes and not Arthur. While he's there, he meets a fellow inmate, Harleen Quinzel, and she places herself in a position where he falls madly in love with her. And I think one of the big issues of this movie is the ending. A lot of people are not happy with the ending of this movie. So again, if you are sneaking in here from the non-spoilers, here is a spoiler. The Joker dies. So it's at this moment that I start putting things together. Now, I don't know if everybody doesn't like the ending because they didn't get it or because it just wasn't a good ending. Arthur Fleck states that he is not the Joker. He basically couldn't commit to the bit. He couldn't go to the dark side. He couldn't go all of the way. And he says that. I just wish somebody would blow all this up and that'd be the end of it. So that's why the inmate finishes with you get what you deserve. And then almost takes up the mantle. But the truth is, this again only proves the point that Arthur Fleck was delusional. He was making up this life. He was never Joker. Literally, this action is going to undo the entire first film. Arthur Fleck has been living in a delusional world where he thought he was the Joker. He is actually not the Joker. He's just someone who's mentally ill. This is going to piss off a lot of people because you're invested. You want to see him be the clown prince of crime. You want to see that for him. And he's still stuck in Arkham. And he's still stuck in Arkham because he's still stuck in Arkham. And again, take a moment with that thought and think about that. The Joker doesn't exist. You understand that the Joker is an unreliable narrator. You just have no idea how unreliable he is about to become. I think that's a lot for people to swallow because they were really invested in how badass the Joker was. But the Joker was becoming this thing. He wasn't the Joker. But the truth of it is that I do kind of find it fascinating. If you're a fan of Joker, you understand this, it fits into Joker's world. The inmate that stabs him, he looks like the same Joker, Cameron Monaghan, that's in the Gotham show. So then it would kind of make sense. Okay, so this next Joker takes over. He becomes the real Joker. But the Joker, again, I think is just someone who becomes Joker in stages. The idea of the Joker and not necessarily the person himself, which is similar to Batman. Batman becomes different iterations of Batman, but the theme of Batman still remains. So if they did it with Batman, why wouldn't they do it with Joker? If you have seen this book, you know he is an ordinary guy who just had a bad day. He's not anyone special. So the other Joker, okay, and I'm going to put out another book. In this book, The Three Jokers, if you guys have read this book, you'll know what I'm saying. There's more than one Joker. There's always been more than one Joker. There really is no definition. There really is no backstory. People keep trying to make a backstory to the Joker, but there really is no backstory. So the closer you feel like you get to who the Joker is, the farther away he becomes. And that's really what this movie turns out to wind up being. So as far as the theme and the whole lore of Joker, this really does fit with everything that the Joker is. Nothing has changed. You changed. You have a different perception of what you think he is based on the first movie. I can see where people are getting upset about the musical numbers. I get this. But if you saw the first Joker, you understand that this was already going on in his mind. This continues to be about his mental illness, his mental breakdown, his delusions, and his delusions happen to have a soundtrack. This is not something new. I'm not completely sure why people are put off by that because it was a part of the story in the first movie. Joker connects with music. It makes him feel human. That is his coping mechanism. It's how he soothes himself. So it shouldn't be a surprise that this is something that keeps going on throughout the entire movie. Everybody is always antagonizing him for their amusement. I mean, message, there's definitely a message in here. Everyone in his mind, everyone in his world is either his inner monologue or things that he's heard from the outside that he's now portraying onto all of the people, from Sophia, who comes back to testify, Harvey Dent and his opinion of the Joker, the judge, the news people on TV, to the journalist that comes to interview him. Everybody is judging him. Everything is again, just like the song says, it's for entertainment. And it's him entertaining himself. It's people around him being entertained. They were all entertained with Harley. She had a fan club too. All the people that walked out with her when Joker was like, I'm not really the Joker. And she's like, oh, you're not really the Joker. Even she comes to him and says, this was a fantasy. You're not really the Joker. I'm here for the fantasy and the good times, baby. And if you're not down for that and that's not who you are, I'm going to bounce. That's basically what she was saying. Harley realizes that he is not a crazy, lunatic, psychotic person like she is. Arthur Fleck is just a guy who shot 6 people. And she's terribly disappointed by this. If this is a delusion, if this is not existing in his real world, it makes sense that she's going to abandon him too, like everyone else in his life. Even the lawyer says that he's not living in a reality. He's not living in the same reality we all are. So what bothers me is that I really did like Arthur Fleck as the Joker, and this undoes it. That bothers me. We can't do a sequel, or I guess we could because it's Hollywood. You can do whatever the hell you want. And being an unreliable narrator, we can just erase, and start over again. Maybe it's deeper than a lot of people think, and they just don't want to think. So I would still say I love the first Joker. I'm kind of bummed out that there really is no Joker. He doesn't exist. But what a way to end a story. You're thinking that this guy is the beginning of something, and he's absolutely meaningless. I mean, think about that. I think that's a pretty cool concept. All right, so how am I going to score this? 1 out of 10? I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give this an 8. Because I really did like the way the narrative went. This is probably a film that may need a second watching, so you understand the events that happen prior to him getting stabbed. All right, guys, those are my thoughts. Please let me know down below what your thoughts are. There's a lot going on here, and I'm sure a lot of you have some thoughts of your own, good and bad. Share with me, because you might have seen something that I missed. Well, I'm Star from the Horror Cat Super Show. Thank you for spending some time with me, and until we meet again, shiver, scream, repeat. Bye.
Tell everyone you know to come on down to the Horror Cat Super Show.